What's up, guys? Frugal BC today doing another portfolio review at a time when things are starting to turn around a little bit in the mini bull. Obviously, we're in the early bull. We're not in the post having the real bull run yet, but already taking some profits. And I just kind of want to look at where my portfolio is at. We're going to talk about Algorand, Bitcoin, Solana, Metis, PYR, all kinds of stuff. I got so many coins in here to talk about today. So let's get into it really quick. Before we do, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe button. If you want to wait a little later, that's fine too. Remember, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently. It works just fine that way. And I want to give a quick shout out. It's not an Algorand specific video, so I just want to give a really quick shout out to Non-Fungible Domains, our sponsors, and Fractal Monsters. Big fan of both of these projects. Go check out the links in the description below. But let's get to today's topic, this is a little portfolio I put together for this bull run. It doesn't count everything I own in crypto. In fact, I'd say it's kind of a small part of it, but there is a lot of good stuff in here. Just a short explanation. Over here, I have my average entry. So this is what I bought everything at. And the first time I did this, I didn't have link on there, but it's on there now. Got XRP, HBAR at 6 cents, XRP at 63 cents. That one is not done well. So interestingly enough, the ones at the bottom, well, not interesting. They're on the bottom because when I entered them in here, I kind of took them off of Coinbase. Let's just start with Solana. Let's see how that's done. So my average entry is listed at 33.49. That's because of some Solana I bought a while ago. So actually, I bought most of my Solana under $20, and it's quite a bit higher now. It's almost at 200, so almost a 10x from this coin. But I don't have that average entry for just the period. I could probably calculate it. Maybe I should for next time. But this is one of the few. This is the only one. Actually, I take it back. I have 2 coins right now in Moonbag because I bought back in the dip that we had recently. That includes Solana, but I had so much pulled out that I was still in Moonbag territory. And on near, I put a bunch back in after the crash. I put in some, what happened was I put in some buy orders that I thought were pretty low, including Bitcoin. I had a buy order at 62,000 and I hit it. So I bought back in and I just sold it off when we hit 70 because I had a sell order at 70. Got another one at 78 right now. Got a sell order at 225. Metis at 175. So that might be a while. I actually might take, I think I put one in at 140, but I can't remember now. So yeah, Solana up on the Moonbag. Total profit plus holdings. So if I were to just remove everything right now, this would be everything. I would have 423 and I only put in 142. So that would be nearly a 3x. Pretty close, not quite. A little under a 3x if I did it right now. Or, as you can see the percent change here, almost 200. Not my best one, by the way. My very best one actually is Near. Near I bought at $1.34. It is currently around $8. Might be a little higher now, but we're at a 238.89% change, which is pretty crazy. Which means I turned $175 into a total of almost 600, both from the amount that I brought in and what's still there. So that so far has been my best one. Like I said, Near it's at 8 something right now, and we bought in at $1.34, and that was underwater for a while. When other stuff was pumping, that was underwater for a little while. I did really well on PYR and Near. Actually, PYR isn't up that much compared to, we bought in at like $3.59 for an average entry, so like $8 is pretty good, but it's not like amazing, right? But this is crypto. So Metis and Bitcoin too, 200%. I bought in at 28,000 average entry, and we ended up, we're at 70 right now, 71, something like that. Maybe a little under 72 as I recall. So that one's up. That's actually one of my better ones. That's third place. Second is Metis. Average entry of 26.92, so about $27, and it's currently around 113, 110, somewhere around that. It'll probably be different by the I'm just kind of lowballing extrapolating what I saw earlier in the day, because this will be different by the time you watch this anyway. The number of coins is actually, I haven't been adjusting these diligently, so I just realized it's sort of pointless for what I'm trying to do here. So I want to explain 2 columns here. The total sold. So this this number right here, that is the total amount that I've pulled out. And it was high. It was actually higher, but I bought back in a bunch during that dip. So once we hit our sell orders, that'll be increasing again. And then Moonbag plus or minus. This is how close I am to a Moonbag. So for Bitcoin, for example, I still have Still have to sell another 425 of Bitcoin to get to Moonbag territory, where that means I've fully pulled the profit out, and I have everything else or pulled the initial investment out, and everything else left is pure profit. So very few are actually in that territory right now. Solana is, and I was actually further over that line, but I bought back in on the dip. Same thing, and then near I'm actually up. I'm actually 64 to the positive. So if it went to 0 tomorrow, I would have made $64. I think obviously that's not going to happen. I think we're headed, we're headed for the big bull after the halving. QIR is still down a little bit. We put 200 in, we pulled 80 out. Most of these are like that, and some I haven't even taken any profit on. So what haven't I taken profit on? I took a little bit on H bar, but not much. Probably gonna take another 50 after it's the next price target at 15. Matic is I haven't taken anything on Matic or XRP or Blur. Sui kind of just bought late in the game. I'm not even sure if it makes sense to include on here. I'm not sure I'm gonna sell unless it goes like really bananas. I guess I'll probably sell off a little bit. Link I kind of bought back in late in the game. It was probably one of my worst moves. I should have held on to the link I had instead of buying into other coins. But actually, yeah, Blur right now is underwater, believe it or not. As you can see, well, I'm actually down. This is the only one that I'm down on. I'm actually almost break even on XRP, and I'm down like 6% on Blur. Could be a late bloomer, or could just be one of the ones that didn't pay out the way I thought it would. Blur, I liked Blur because I thought it was a OpenSea competitor, and I thought they had a good competitive advantage, but hasn't panned out so far. So sometimes crypto is more about vibes. In fact, a lot of times I think it's more about vibes than anything else. Now, one thing I want to talk about while I go through this, because people gave me, I actually got a little, I mentioned that I sold off some Bitcoin after buying the dip, and some people reacted to that. They thought that was stupid and that was premature because we're not even at the halving yet. It might be, I might have taken some of these a little early, but actually the one I thought I took too early was Solana. I probably should have held off a little on Solana. But that being said, I mean, the point is, I like to pull investment off the table. The more you can de-risk, the safer it is. Now I don't have to care what happens. And we saw this last time Bitcoin, we thought it was going way, way higher than 68,000, I think it went up to. I think a lot of us thought it was going to hit those 6-figure ranges, and I held on, and then I took the crash down with it. So you never know what's going to happen. Like, listen, you never know what's going to happen. We might think that, yeah, I mean, it's probably going to do what it's always done. We're going to have this big bull run after the halving. That's usually what happens. But why would you risk it? Because sometimes things happen. You don't know. So I think it's good to plan for both scenarios. So I'm actively pulling investment off the table. That if it doesn't happen, I'm still up. That's the whole point of doing this. Let's see. So obviously, Bitcoin is my biggest holding right now. I started off with 1,000 of Bitcoin. I'm not sure where that money came from. If I'm being 100% honest, I'm not sure where that came from. I ended up with just 1,000 Bitcoin straight up. I don't remember. Because I've had it, I've sold it, I bought it. But somehow I saw that I ended up with 1,000 plus Bitcoin, and that was kind of my starting range. So that one's done pretty well. That one's done reasonably well. But others, I just strategically put in a little bit every week during the bear market, the times when everyone is like anti-crypto and all your family is going, that crypto stuff, that sure was a bust, huh? That's when you're making money. You don't think you're making money because it feels like you're just shoveling money it feels like you're shoveling cash into a furnace. That's when you're actually making money, is when you're buying at those really low levels. And everyone's like, how this crypto stuff is done. That's when you're making money. And I don't think it's necessarily too late, but I think it's more risky now than it was 3 months ago. So, I think it's probably a safe bet. I wouldn't put my life savings on it, but if I hadn't already bought in at these really low levels, I would probably consider putting some money in right now. I just wouldn't do a lot. I wouldn't do more than I could afford to lose. Honestly, this is an amount I can afford to lose. I wouldn't be happy about it. I wasn't happy when I lost the Celsius money, which I got back in some degree. But I can afford to lose. This isn't going to wreck me. My portfolio will be fine. It'll be a bummer, but I'll be fine. So I hope that portfolio breakdown was helpful. I look at these every 2-3 weeks or so just to kind of give an idea where this run portfolio is at, how it's doing. Like I said, so far doing pretty well at 60, almost 6,700 from about 2,500. A bad little turnaround even in the short term, and it's going to go much higher. Now, this doesn't include Algorand. My Algorand portfolio has been growing, but that's more complicated because so much of my Algorand is invested. It's in DeFi, it's in Lofty, it's in other places. So something to keep in mind. It's not necessarily the same as, there's a reason it's not on here. It's just totally separate. I just don't have a lot of loose Algorand. It's all dedicated towards something, mostly DeFi. Actually, DeFi is the biggest part of it. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe out there. Manage your risk. And as always, I'm Frugal BC, and I will see you in the future.